Welcome, I am a Counter-Strike llama. We've all seen the nothing to a knife videos, a lot of which are really good, like this one from Tech Savvy. But how realistic is it for the average player? And what do I consider to be the best way to get a knife for nothing? Before we get into it, I just hit 2,000 subscribers last week. For 2,000, I wanted to give away a couple of skins I liked to my subscribers in the Discord server. Link to the Discord is in the description, and more info about the giveaway at the end of the video. Huge thank you for 2,000, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Maybe we can hit 3,000 before 2026. Alright. First off, is it possible to go from nothing to a knife? Yes, obviously. In fact, I don't know if it has ever been easier with case prices so high. Okay, so first thing, a Prime account is going to be necessary for this. If you don't have it, just buy it. You'll actually be able to enjoy the game, and you'll make your money back in about a quarter year. So the new drop system is going to make this a whole lot easier, and is the simplest way to get yourself from nothing to a knife if you just collect your weekly drop and sell it. Active drop cases have never been worth this much before. The kilowatt case is worth $1 on the community market, the Revolution is worth 70 cents, the recoil is worth 37 cents, Dreams and Nightmares is worth $2.27, and the Fracture is worth half $1. I highly recommend you take advantage of these prices. Do anything but open them. This is kind of a slow and steady method. Will it get you there? Yes, absolutely. But it is likely going to take over 2 years of selling cases to get a decent knife. But you get to choose 2 drops, so what about the other drops? Well, I'm going to be honest, there's not a lot of great stuff you can get. You can get lucky and get something like the SG Integral, but even that's only worth $10 in field tested. What I do personally is I'll look it up on the Steam market if I'm not entirely sure what it's worth. 99% of the time it won't be worth anything, but it is still worth checking. Now every once in a while you could get a rare case drop, but I wouldn't count on it. I'm not going to count it for this though, because I've only ever gotten one case drop and it was a Danger Zone case worth less than the Dreams and Nightmares case. Now you're also going to need a marketplace to sell your items at, and I'm going to be using Steam Community Market. If you're just planning on selling cases to get your knife, you can definitely use a third-party marketplace, but we're about to talk about the Armory, and you can't buy Armory passes third party. Alright, now if you don't want to wait 2 years, there are a couple ways you can speed this up, as you probably know. If you're willing to get risky, you can either greatly speed up or completely kill any momentum you had. First, let's talk about trade-ups, and I'm gonna be honest, I am not a huge fan of trade-ups for profit. Can it be done? Yeah, absolutely. There's countless examples of people making it work, like this great video from Flary. He goes from a Dreams and Nightmares case to a knife and glove combo. But every time I have tried to replicate something like this, I have gotten completely destroyed on what are considered low-risk trade-ups, which sucks. It also takes an incredible amount of time to collect the skins needed to make trade-ups work. Remember, low float items are often worth a lot more than market value. I would argue that it would be a better use of your time to keep opening Steam accounts, get 3 or 4 case drops a week instead of spending forever searching for trade-up inputs. It's also just a lot more fun than scouring the Steam market, trust me. So if you're pretty knowledgeable about trade-ups and you just have the time to spend scouring the Steam market, you can absolutely do this. But be aware, you are playing with chances here. All it takes is one string of bad luck to lose everything. I once sunk $30 into low-cost, low-risk trade-ups and had a horrible string of bad luck, losing me over $20. It was frustrating because I had done everything quote-unquote right, but I still got destroyed when it came down to the trade-ups because that's just how they work sometimes. I'm not saying don't use trade-ups, I'm just saying be prepared to lose everything because it can happen. I just want to set a realistic expectation here of trade-ups. It's not free money. Do your own research, and pro tip, trade-ups featured in popular videos are not often profitable because a lot of people are trying to replicate them. I will use the ones I see in popular videos as inspiration, and I use trade-up calculators, like the one on Skin Search, to find my own trade-ups. I'm by no means a trade-up expert, but I'm not a novice either. If you don't know a ton about trade-ups, or you don't want to spend the time to learn about them, collecting and selling the case each week is going to be a much more consistent way to get to a knife. Alright, let's talk about the Armory. It is profitable to spam it, to the surprise of, I think, everyone. We know this by going over to CS ROI. All the cases like capsules will lose you money, but with the Armory, I guess not enough people are buying passes. I think the missing link charms have been growing on a lot of people because they have an incredible ROI if you spam them. Now I will warn, this is pretty much gambling, but if you spam it enough, you should have an edge of about 20%. To put that number into perspective, blackjack card counters will have approximately anywhere from a 1 to 2.5% edge over the house. So 20% is a lot, but it is incredibly dependent on you spamming it. And just like with trade-ups, you can get really unlucky and just not make any money at all. I recommend that you mainly spam the missing link charms, but you can do like the stickers or the other charms if you'd like also. The only thing I really recommend you avoid is going to be the collections. These are super dependent on you spending hundreds or even thousands of stars just to get that one big hit that'll pay for the rest of them. Do not do it, it is not worth it unless you are ready to lose all of your money. Alright, now about about 5 minutes later, we have arrived at my main point of the video. How does all of this stack up to working a job? Hint, not good. If you live in the United States, seriously, just get a job. Worst case scenario, your $7.25 an hour is going to get you a knife so much faster than anything we have talked about. Work 20 hours and you got yourself about $100 to spend on a knife, assuming taxes about 35%. But most of my viewers actually come from Germany, which surprised me. Hello, Germany. And Google tells me your minimum wage is about 12 euros an hour. Wait, I hear you typing that you live in a country with a really low minimum wage and you could never afford a knife. Listen, I get that. Hear me out here. If you really want to get yourself a knife, consider using a combination of everything we have talked about today. Save and sell your cases and whatever other drops you get, but also cut out tiny expenses from your days and keep track of it. Just put that money somewhere where you can save it. And if you're able, you can even pick up some extra shifts at work. This isn't going to get you the best knife ever in like half a year, but it is a slow and sure way to get yourself to that knife. For me, a couple years ago, I spent about 10 weeks doing exactly this, and then I was able to buy myself a Huntsman Ultraviolet. Not the best knife or anything, but I was able to do it without spending any extra time or even money really. So let's recap. If you can't get a job for some reason, using 2 or more accounts to get the weekly drops and selling the cases will be your best bet. If you're willing to introduce some risk, you can try trade ups and spamming Armory passes. It's high risk, but can yield results. And finally, just set a little bit of money aside while collecting your cases. Making a plan based on any combination of these 3 methods will be the absolute best way for you to do this. Lastly, just be patient. It will take time, and that's okay. I believe in you. You got this. Go get yourself a knife. I will also be attempting nothing to a knife using these methods I have shown. I hoarded cases for a little while, and I bought my first Armory pass to spam missing link charms. So far, I've only lost money, but hopefully I get a little bit better luck with the rest of this pass. Eventually, whether I make it or I don't, I'll edit it into one big video, so subscribe for that. Well, looks like you made it to the case opening. 2 cases today for 2,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, it means a ton. And like I said, I want to give away a couple skins in my Discord server. Don't be expecting any knives or anything, I don't have a ton of money, but I will have some cool stuff, so you can check the description for the link to the Discord server. And as for the cases, we have wasted $85 on cases and gained back about $9.30. Yikes. That's enough to buy this silly cat pillow.